Confirmation bias. Confirmation bias works like this. You are so sure about your point of view, you're not even willing to listen to a complete sentence from somebody who thinks otherwise. We see this a lot in politics. Yeah, too much. We see it in all walks of life, and we certainly have people in this room who are quite certain about how Rotary should work. You don't know this, but behind your back, we call you the purists. The purists. Because you're so convinced that Rotary can only be done one way, the right way, right? And we've learned, most of us have learned that there is no one right way to do Rotary. In fact, if we learned anything last year from President John Durham is that, you know, all rules are off the table. We just want you to succeed. Not a bad way to actually go about things. And then the fourth bias is this idea of blindside bias. Blindside bias says that everyone in this room has a blind side, an Achilles heel, something they can't see. And when I do consulting for companies to help them grow their companies, grow their sales, improve leadership, I always tell people in the room, everyone in this room has a blind spot. And what's fascinating is, even if I tell you as your consultant that you have a blind spot, you will deny it. Why?
Can't see it.
You can't see it. I mean, you gotta love psychology. Sometimes, 6 days later, 6 weeks later, 6 years later, I get an email. Michael, you were right.
Yeah.
But it's just how psychology works. You can't see it because it's your blind spot. It's fascinating. And so what can you do about something like a blind spot? You can be open to other people's opinions. You can at least listen to people. And you can consider how many people are telling you. You can consider the type of people that are sharing advice with you. Because then the advice becomes more important. One of the things we want you to start doing as a result of attending PETS is to start acting presidential. It sounds easy, doesn't it? But it's like being promoted at a job where you've worked for 4 years, and now you're being asked to supervise the people that you used to work with. Has anybody been in that position where all of a sudden you're the boss? How's that go?
Not well.
No, because, I mean, technically you're the boss now, but these people don't want to listen to you because they've never had to listen to you before. Talk about psychology. They can't get their head around the fact that you're now giving them orders. And that's kind of how it is when you become president, especially if you became president quickly. Raise your hand if you think you've become president quickly. Too quickly. So some tips for acting more presidential. A lot of you think, well, I have the option, now that I'm going to be club president, I have the option to introduce change to my club. I'd like to correct you, if I may. You not only have the option to introduce change to your club, you have the obligation to introduce change to your club. You're in charge now of your club. And you have the power, if nothing else, the power of the microphone 52 times next year to introduce change. It's within you to do this.
Yeah, right.
And some of your clubs really need to change.
Yep.
You watched while last year's president didn't make the changes you thought should be made. And the president before that didn't make the changes you thought that should be made. That's called kicking the can down the road. So you can decide for yourself whether you're going to be one of those presidents who kicks the can or introduces the change. And at this weekend, you're going to get ideas on what can be changed and exactly how to change it. You're with people that have done it. You're with past district governors. You're with past presidents. You're with the brain trust of this organization in your area. So they're among us. So I encourage you to meet as many people as you can.